Just about a minute or two. Just Night Watcher is here doing burpees in his bedroom. How are you? How are you feeling? And did you get a makeup date for your exam? Night Watcher says you're late. Yes, I am. Just a minute or two. I had to start my dishwasher, put some dishes in the dishwasher and start it. I just took a shower. And now we're going to cruise around on the YouTube for just a minute. Just want to see if anyone's live. My cat's here meowing at me. Just a Night Watcher says hello. How are you feeling? So I don't see anyone live. TK1 Gaming, if you guys know him, he is up live. So last night we had a lively discussion with our friend Laradox, who wishes to save my soul, which is a worthy endeavor. I appreciate that. Night Watcher says, I'm currently doing some late night drawing soon, but soon we'll open my Pinterest. I have a Pinterest. I was using it on my older blog, but I don't use it that often any longer. And I've never really, I just posted because it was automatic. Said on his laptop to search for references. Well, good. And it says he's kind of good. His fever is gone, but my cold has gone up. I started seizing blood. That's not good. Think you might need to see a doctor? Sorry, I'm yawning. So yeah, I went to bed
Hello,
later.
everyone. I was bored. So I
Sorry.
started flipping through all the little boxes.
Yeah, I went to bed a little later. As I said, we had an interesting conversation with our friend Laradox, who, as I mentioned before, wants to save my soul, which, you know, I appreciate. Maybe we could all use a little bit of saving. However, we see things fundamentally different, which is okay as well. I don't need to, no one needs to think like me. Man, it's hard enough for me to think like me. Our friend, it is what it is. Good mother freaking morning, YouTube family. Louis, how are you? How are you feeling after several big sessions? Louis says he's doing great. Eric, thank you. How are you? I'm doing pretty well too. I had a surprisingly good interval session today. And I say surprisingly because yesterday was high rep dip day, dip and pull up. And I thought it might affect me. I don't normally do right after. I don't normally do interval right after I do a strength training day. But I thought I'd give it a shot. And it was one of my better ones. Big thanks and a big shout out to our friend Duncan Walsh, Fitness Motivation. He's given me some really good suggestions. Actually, through the last year. Lewis says sore. but I'm doing the damn thing. You got to do the damn thing. That's what we're here for. Now, what you said is okay. My mom is a doctor, and she said I just have a really bad cold. Good. I'm glad that you have a doctor in the family. I'm glad your mom's a doctor, and she can help you out. That's got to be a comfort. My mom was a school teacher. My mom was an excellent school teacher. Lewis says, nice, Eric. I like those intervals. You know, you got a minute, you go all out. The goal isn't to see how many reps you can get. The goal is to get your heart beating, to breathe hard, and then recover, and then do it again. Thanks a lot to you, Lewis. I've mainly stepped away from the busy dad approach. I started doing it when I was nasal breathing because you just never know where the numbers are going to go when you're nasal breathing. You get into that oxygen debt, the air hunger, as they call it. It's like you're training at oxygen. You're just not going to get the same amount of reps. And as you often say, just get the reps. Does it take you 20 minutes? Does it take you 21 minutes? Does it take you 22 or 25 or 26? Doesn't matter. Get the reps. So the interval, you know, gives me those moments of going really fast, and then I have all those other sessions where I just get the reps. Matt Watcher says also check out my newest community posts. I posted the Mickey Mouse and steroids. I will check that out. I will check that out in just a minute. So I thought about I'm getting my desktop up. I thought about putting in some ground rules in place because of the sort of the spamming that we got yesterday. And I decided not to. You can put in all the rules you want. What it comes down to is respect. So I'm just going to ask people, hey, respect the fact that, one, I'm just a yogi. I'm not just a Christian. I'm not just a Baptist. I'm not just a whatever. I'm just a yogi. So when you come in here, know that my channel is about yoga, is about being a yogi, my life that I've devoted to this practice. And that doesn't mean that I don't have a relationship with Christ. It doesn't mean that, you know, I went to a Catholic school through my formative years. You don't really leave that stuff behind. I'm not a Christian, but I've cultivated that relationship. I'd rather live my life in a Christ-like fashion than be a Christian. That's just a personal decision. And no way do I ever disparage anyone who thinks and believes different. I have the highest respect for Christians, for Buddhists, for Hindus, for Muslims, across the board. It does not matter to me. So I'm getting ready to check out Night Watcher's Mickey Mouse on steroids. It is what it is, says exactly, Eric. Just get it done. Leave the numbers to those that want their own accomplishments. Exactly. And, you know, again, just the message that you consistently put out, Lewis, sunk in. Sometimes you need to hear it consistently. You get so locked in, I get so locked into those numbers. I think it has, you know, one, being a bodybuilder, being a power lifter, and then Olympic lifter, and then kettlebell sport, and then running. You're always chasing after numbers. When I got into ultra running, I began to let that go. Because who cares how fast you run 100 miles? You just ran a damn 100-mile race, you know? 30-hour cutoff or sub 24, you did 100 miles. Richard Runs Trail is here. Richard, I was just thinking about you, and I'll tell you why. As of this morning, and 5 days are in the tank, meaning that they haven't counted the last 5 days, I am at 2,860 watch hours. So I'm officially 140 away from that first 3,000. 1,140 days away from 4,000. I never would have gotten here, one, without your help, and two, without your suggestion of asking some friends for help. And I've had some real great people, including our friend Destiny, including our great friend Goldie, our friend Mayhem and Miracles that comes in here, and then her asking other people to come in. Never would have been this close. So thank you, Richard. It is what it is says. Leo Said So is going for the Holy Grail this coming weekend. I'll be sure to check him out. And me and my big mouth said I'll do it with you, Leo. Hey, way to step up, Lewis. That's actually a good thing because you're still going to be in recovery. So, you know, it's not going to feel good, but he's going to see you helping him out, stepping up, knowing that you're still not 100%, and that's really going to push him. Because if you can do it again, if you can do it twice in that short of time, then he can step up and he can do it. That's going to be playing in his mind. Lewis says, Richard, how are you doing, brother? Richard says, great, listening at work. I appreciate that. And speaking of which, our friend Goldie, who I had just mentioned for all of her help, getting me this close. I see the finish line. Doesn't mean I'm finished, but I see the finish line. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Lewis says, yeah, we can't try to be someone else. The biggest challenge is to be yourself. Yes, to be authentic. That's something I remind myself whenever I think about any direction I might want to take for my channel. And I think, you know what, I don't need a particular direction because YouTube is filled with directions. It's filled with people who have outstanding channels in their lane. I don't think I have a particular lane. I'm just a guy who comes here and talks, and I put out some nature stuff, and I do some burpees. So if that's the lane, I'm happy with that. But it also allows me to pivot, to go in any direction. Goldie says hi to everyone. Richard says happy to help. You know, I never even knew that was possible until you suggested that. And Richard was the first person who stepped up and said, oh, you need watch hours? I can help. And everything escalated from there. Goldie's been incredible. Destiny's been incredible. Milka has been incredible. All you guys. Mayhem and Miracles. But without the first little boost from Richard, who suggested, hey, ask for help. It just never even occurred to me. Nightwatcher says, Eric, we should have rules so that when anyone joins the stream, a roll of rules pop up, and if anyone disobeys, we remove their messages and warn them. Third time, we mute them. This rule does apply to mods. I'll have to think about that. I do like the thought of rules, but at the same time, you know, I come from many, many years of being a rule breaker. I don't break rules in other people's channels. It's all about respect. That's the only rule that I have. Be respectful. Be respectful to the people in the chat, the conversation that we're having, and I was going to say me. You don't need to be respectful for me. let's see, not what it says, but mods get 10 warnings, and then their mods will be removed. I can't imagine a single mod that I have um, needing 10 warnings. You guys are just too awesome. What would I warn you about? Being too nice? Um, let's see. Goldie said, Lewis, that's a great idea, but I think Eric doesn't want it. Oops. Just a mistake. Goldie says, I'm sorry, my mistake. I'm on the fence about it because you know, I definitely don't want a great live chat, and I want everyone to feel comfortable. Um, and I don't want a great live chat to go off the rails. So, as much as I'm not a big person on rules, it might be necessary. Richard says, I learned from others, as I did from you. So it's a great thing that we can keep that going on. And I've been able to give that same suggestion to so many people as well. I took the inspiration from Goldie, and I do my best to get out there every day. I have 1 to several people up and playing, and I love going and visiting Mayhem and Miracles and just asking, hey, who needs watch hours? Or going to people's live stream sessions. Even though I know I might not be able to stay, I can leave them up and running as I go about my business. Man, there's little things. Like right now, Yankee Kyle he mentioned several times that he needs watch hours. What an easy thing for me to do that makes a big difference for someone else. Flower is here. I was 14 minutes late. I was listening for 2 minutes. So officially, you're only 12 minutes late. If you listen for 2, we're going to count that. Nightwatcher gives a very enthusiastic welcome to Flower, as she deserves. Flower deserves to be applauded for being here, as do each of you guys. At the very least, you guys need to be applauded by me, because you make my day much better. Salana says, Elvis had a song in one of his movies, Yoga is as Yoga does. I know. I saw the video from his movie. It's a horrible song. And he's not very flexible. You would think Elvis, well known, world renowned for his hip action, for his swivel, for his pivot, would have been a great yogi. In actuality, he was a pretty good yogi. He belonged to the Self-Realization Fellowship, Paramahansa Yogananda. It's said on his nightstand when he passed away, well, bathroom stand, when he passed away in his bathroom, there was a copy of the Tao Te Ching and the book Your Impersonal Self. Goldie says, how are you, Nightwatcher? Flowers watching an anime. Nightwatcher says they only got 1, while Goldie got 3 T3. I don't know what that means. Lewis says 10 warnings. That would be too many. Well, you know what? We're a lenient group. I have to tell you something. Particularly the group of people that I have here, but we're going to include Destiny, and we're going to include Elise, as well as Squirrel Sniper and Eric Lapointe. That if you guys feel the conversation is not being supported, I trust you guys 100%. As mentioned before, I have no doubt that you guys have my back. And, I've seen both Night Watcher and It Is What It Is step up and do what needed to be done. And to be honest, I was so engrossed in the conversation, I didn't even notice what was going on until later, which shows you I need to pay more attention. Night Watcher says he's good, but he's sick. But he's also feeling better. Goldie says, I believe Night Watcher has last night's conversation in mind when he suggested this. Last night and yesterday afternoon. Goldie says, yes, Eric, but remember, my faith was questioned because I don't Bible bash. Yeah, and that's exactly about being respectful to the people in the chat. And the people who show up every day to have a conversation about these things that are important to them, that I feel completely safe in talking about my beliefs, as different as some of them are from Goldie's. And she's not going to judge me. She might disagree. In fact, she will disagree on quite a bit of it, which is great for a lot of reasons. For one, it gives me an opportunity to examine my own beliefs. Why do I believe it? Just because I read it in a book of yoga? Just because I have a yoga teacher decades ago who told me something? I did that same process with Christianity. Why wouldn't I do the same thing with yoga? So, it's a great way of reevaluating where I stand from moment to moment to moment. But I feel completely at ease in having these discussions with Goldie. Never judge, never, Eric, you're wrong in this belief. Goldie is so firm in her belief, she's not threatened by anything that I say, and nor am I trying to convince Goldie to be anything other than what she is. Why would I try? Goldie's a wonderful person. It would be ridiculous of me to say, hey, you know what, Goldie, as wonderful as you are, you would be even more wonderful if you were a yogi, or even just did some yoga or whatever. I have no interest whatsoever in changing anyone. Not even our friend Laradox. I have no interest in. He's firm in his conviction. And I think in time, he'll be tempered. You know what I mean? It'll be more even keeled. Because as Goldie said, yesterday, that you influence people more by who and what you are, by that presence of conviction, faith, peacefulness, than you do with thunder and lightning. So yeah, I feel bad that your faith was questioned because of all the people that come here, I don't think anyone stands more firmly in their convictions and more joyfully, more happily than Goldie. Night Watcher says, and It Is What It Is had held a vote to remove Laradox mod, and we won the vote because Laradox was being very annoying. Well, to be fair, our friend Flower abstained from the vote. Flower takes an impartial stand of unconditional friendliness towards everyone. Richard says, once you get it approved, you don't lose it if you fall below. Just need to work hard to jump the hurdle. Man, I'm getting close, Richard. 140 more to hit 3,000. And there's 5 days, like I said, 5 days in the tank, meaning it's showing data as of May 8th. So I don't know how many I have in those 5 days. Man, I'm glad I don't have to rely on public short views. Although some of my shorts are getting okay views, getting 10 million just seems incredible. Goldie says, I'm sorry he was annoying to you, Night Watcher. I don't mind people, and I mentioned this yesterday. I don't mind people coming here and promoting the channel. In fact, you should come here to promote your channel. And I don't even mind you coming in and saying, I'm live. Come visit. Because, you know, it might be of more interest to someone. That's cool. I can get pretty bogged down in detail sometimes. I can be, let's face it, guys, I can be downright boring sometimes. Let me know, because I can entertain you. I can dance, I can sing, I can put on a mime show. I can go grab a pair of socks, although I don't really wear socks. I'm either barefoot or in my barefoot shoes, and put on a sock puppet show. You guys just let me know what you need. Flower says, no, I was 14 minutes late. I started chatting at 11:46. I'm just trying to cut you some slack. Selina says, yes, it was a terrible song. Stuck in my head for decades. I'm sorry about that. You know what? I'm not that sorry, because thanks to you, I had In the God and the Vita playing in my head, except I was switching the words to In the Bag of Vegeta. I was telling that to Mocha this morning. However, if I had to get a song stuck in my head, I'd much rather In a God and Vita than that song by Elvis. And a lot of good songs by Elvis that I wouldn't mind getting stuck in my head. I'm actually an Elvis fan. Even if it was Hunka Hunka Burnin' Love, that wouldn't have been so bad. It is what it is, says Eric. You'll be happy to know that I told my wife, you said that she should do one more 10-mile run before the half marathon. And well, now I got to run this 10 with her this Sunday. So thank you, Eric. It's the least I could do. Think of it as just a little bit of the down payment for your encouragement to Duncan to get him to do the painful stuff that I've been doing. Lewis says, it was annoying to everyone. He was spamming people to go live and telling to leave Eric's live. Yeah, which it wasn't a nice thing. And it's not enemy, it's and I. You know what, guys? I'm going to give up pronouncing anything right. It's just not going to happen. You guys have to accept me as I am. An old bald guy doing burpees in his basement, which was an alternate title for my channel, an old bald guy doing burpees in his basement. But, you know, I had no idea, besides Mocha, who would watch that. And honestly, I'm not sure Mocha would watch that either. Night Watcher says, that's the proper Japanese pronunciation, according to my native Japanese friend. Actually, both native Japanese friends I have too. Our friend Kathy is here. C. Peyton. Kathy, how are you? Goldie says, yes, Eric, but we don't have power to hide messages from other moderators. Is that a possibility? Is there something I could do to give you guys power? And if I were to do rules, where do I put that up? Flower says, hello, beautiful Peyton. Man, you guys give the best welcome. All of you guys do. Beautiful Peyton. Night Watcher says, how are you? Mr. or Mrs. C. Peyton. It would be a Mrs. Gordy says, yeah, right. Is that a bet, Eric? For the mime show, or the puppet show, or the improvisational dancing? I had a I started off the talk yesterday actually talking about dancing, and I'm gonna talk some more about that. The importance of lymphatic dancing. I was actually going to wait until to see if our friend Destiny showed up, um, because she's actually purposely, uh, I don't know for sure, getting in some lymphatic dancing on the treadmill. Eric Point says, "Hello everyone, I heard my name, so I figured I would get off a tractor to say hi. Sorry if I can't text right now, but I'm listening. I appreciate that, Eric." That's a high compliment. I can honestly say, in 59 years, no one has ever gotten off a tractor to hear me talk before. And, you know, I spent some time on a farm in northern Pennsylvania, and they had every opportunity to get off a tractor and never took it up. Kathy says, "I'm still a little under the weather, but it's getting better." I'm glad to hear you're getting better. Our friend Night Watcher has been under the weather as well. Night Watcher says hello to Eric Lapointe. Goldie says, "I don't have the right to judge anyone." I agree. Neither do I. And you know what? It's a great practice if I feel that voice of judgment coming up. Um, it's not a race, but through the years, I've gotten better at seeing its appearance, of knowing it's there, and being able to let it go, being able to smile at myself for having that. Our friend Kayla Boo is here. Kayla, how are you? Our friend Kayla has a unique and different, I want to say gaming channel, but I don't like putting things in a sort of a label like that. So let's just say Kayla has a unique channel, a Kayla Boo channel. It's the best kind of channel when it defies description, and all you can do is say it's a Kayla Boo channel. It's a C. Payton channel. It's a Is What It Is channel. It's a Richard Runs Trail channel. Richard runs trails, but he also does bodyweight stuff. He also lifts weights. He also does great reviews. So Richard Runs Trails is a great name, and it's a Richard Runs Trails channel. Goldie says, "Nothing for me in the last 5 days except the lives that I came into." Hey, you're instrumental in getting me here. So that is greatly appreciated. And I appreciate you being here now. Flower says, "Yeah, I'm friendly. Just don't hurt my friends." That's part of who you are. Not just the friendliness, but that you are an advocate for the people that you care about. Flower says, "I'm the same way." Or Peyton says, "I'm the same way." Flower, sorry. Goldie says, "I don't need you to turn into a performing monkey." I appreciate that. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could if I tried. Gordy says, "We are here because we like chatting with you." I appreciate hearing that. Especially because, as I said, thinking in terms of how I should approach my channel. Should I do something different other than with my live streams? The other stuff, to putting out the shorts, I absolutely love doing nature shorts. And of course, the burpees will always be consistent, as well as, reading from my blog and stuff. But, I've had considerations for the live stream. But I think all I can really do is just come here and talk in a free-for-all. Conversation takes a shape of its own from the people that are here, not from my agenda. And I think that's the way it should be. Richard says, I suggest a show of 10 pump burpees with you and Lewis. Man, that would be tough. It is what it is, would leave me in the dust. Well, okay, Lewis wouldn't leave me in the dust because he would come back around to help me. Lewis is not the type of person that leaves someone behind. So if I was struggling with 10 pumps, he would slow it down to 8 pumps. If I was struggling with 8 pumps, he would slow it down to 5 pumps. Lewis is the guy that would get you. He's the guy that would get you across the finish line. Night Watcher says that it is. You guys are a power couple. Oh, my mistake. Night Watcher says even Yogi called me Lewis. I think it's the length of the title. Gordy says you need to invest managing mod or hide them yourself. I got to look up what a managing mod is. And how do I go about doing such a thing? Kayla says hi to everyone and nice to meet you. So if you get the opportunity, make sure to check Kayla Boo out. Night Watcher says there's a section where you can give rules, and all new viewers will see the rules before chatting. Amez, I think I'm getting it. Says hello to Kayla. Kayla, hello, my friend. Kathy says she'll be back, changing phones. Kayla said hi 2 times. Goldie says the bet was about trying to dissuade me of my faith. Yeah. I don't think it could be done. And you know what? I don't think it's worth trying. Goldie, I could be wrong about this. You don't strike me as the type who just blindly accepted your faith. I think you came through your faith through some difficult times. I think it sustained you and aided you and helped you get stronger. So I don't see you as having blind faith. I see you as someone who has come to her faith through the process of living, through the process of life, and that it has sustained you. So in a case like that, I always think more power to them. That's what we need. It is what it is, says Richard. Don't tempt Eric to do 10 pumps, please. As I said, Lewis would have my back. If I decided to do 10 pumps, I wonder if, hey, what day is Leo Setso doing the Holy Grail? If it's on a Saturday, I wonder if I said, you know what, the most Navy SEALs I've done in a session is 300. I think maybe 320. I'd have to go back and check. I never shot for the Holy Grail, but I wonder if I said, you know what, if Leo's going to do it Saturday, maybe I'll do it Sunday. And hey, Lewis, would you give me a hand? I know he wouldn't say no. I know he would step right up and say, you got it. He wouldn't be happy with me, but he'd be there. Oh, awesome. Goldie has dropped Kayla's link. Guys, go visit Kayla. I get the opportunity often when I'm heading out for my walk, or just before I head out for my walk, right after, or sometimes right before, when I do my 5 a.m. Reading, Kayla will be live, and I get the opportunity to pop in and say good morning, and then I'll leave her up and running. And a lot of times she is still up and going when I get back. Night Watcher says, it is what it is. Not gonna lie, when I first talked to you, I thought you were 26, 27, judging by your profile picture. Never would have thought you were 40. It's the power of burpees. Lewis says, Richard is a beast. He is. The comeback's almost complete. He's got a 25K coming up. And I suspect he's going to end the year with something big. Flower says, what's 3 chill ways that are the most comfortable for you all? You mean like just kicking back and relaxing? Man, my whole life is chill. Everything I do is chill. You know, doing breath work and meditating straight out of bed. I got yoga right after that. I got my 1 cup of coffee. And writing, which are absolutely one. I love that 1 cup of coffee. I love writing. And then I'm out in nature twice, sometimes 3 times a day. I got more yoga. I got more meditation. I get to talk to you guys. I couldn't even name 3 chill things, like I said, my whole day. And that, again, that includes you guys. Lewis says, well, Night Watcher, you made my day. Thank you for that. Kayla says, oh, thank you guys. Our pleasure. Night Watcher says, talking casually, joking, insulting me, sarcastic, pointing out mistakes. I love when people like to talk to me like that. I don't, I hope no one insults you. I know no one here is going to insult you. Flower says, hey, how much more watch hours do you need? To get to 3,000, I need 140. I need 1,040 to get my 4,000, which is the big goal, getting the big monetization. Of course, that means you guys are going to have to put up with ads. I think that's how it works. Night Watcher says it's okay. It is what it is. You're welcome. It's what I truly thought. I just said the truth. Kayla says, I got your stream up, man. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. Lewis says, yes, Eric, facts on that. Like I mentioned up above, you can tell every one of your videos, Lewis, you're in it for the sake of others. It's great to be in shape. It's great to be able to do the stuff that we do, but you're all about encouraging other people. And, again, you're not someone that leaves a person behind. If someone's with you, if you get across the finish line, they're getting across the finish line. Flower says, when I first arrived, I thought the people here were your relatives since you had such low views on your lives. And I thought Destiny was your relative, especially because you kept talking about to her. She is, as are all of you, soul family. Goldie says you do it the same way as the normal mod. Okay. Whoever would like to be, I forget what it was called. I'll just call it a super mod. Whoever would like to be a super mod, you guys let me know. Is it a different color wrench, or is it a hammer? So you no longer have a wrench, you now have a hammer? Maybe, I don't know, a chainsaw? If it was Eric Lapointe, he stepped up, I would see if it had instead of a wrench, it had a tractor. It is what it is, says. Eric is falling behind on the chat again. All right, I'm going to step it up. Kathy says, when you go to a person's name and click on it, you'll see a standard mod and a managing mod. You pick which one. And the one that I would want is a managing mod, right? Mocha says, hello. We were talking about Mocha. Mocha says, how about a high five? Mocha is more apt to give you a high five than she is to give me a high five. And that's because I've been asking for a high five for 22 plus years, almost 23 years now. Richard says he has to go. Richard, thanks for popping in. I appreciate that, and I appreciate all your help. We got an emoji from Kayla Bill. Flower's going to try again with her greeting for Miss Mocha. And that time you did it. You nailed it. Goldie says, yes, you're right, Eric. I turned to my God because I was a new mom, also a single mom, and I didn't know who Goldie was. You certainly discovered. And that's no easy thing. It is no easy thing. And I think that sometimes you need, maybe all the time, you need that grace of God in order to find it. Night Watcher says Goldie means a managing mod, such as a bot or Botrix. Don't know what either of those are. Mocha gives an enthusiastic greeting to Flower. Goldie says, I emulated myself, after others so much on my need of being loved that I lost myself in the process. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I know others who have been down that road as well. I think I might have been close myself. And we get some nice greetings. Lewis says, you're right. Eric, Mocha doesn't high five. She does not. But again, if she were to high five, I think you'd be on that list. Our friend Odom is here. Odom's Homestead. Hope everyone having a blessed day. Happy Monday. Happy Monday to you. How's the homestead, Odom? How is the garden? Everyone's power back up and recovery in process? Flower says, yes, best way to relax. Yogi falling behind. I'm doing my best. I'm getting there. So here's a question. I know some people get annoyed with me falling behind. You guys let me know. Night Watcher says I'm like 50 messages behind. I'm getting there though. I think of these as ultra events. It's not a sprint. You see, I'm learning to skip messages like, yeah, I went to the bathroom. Sorry. Just some things don't need to be read out loud. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. And a greeting like that, a greeting like Goldie's, a greeting like it is what it is, those are the greetings that have to be read out loud. Everyone's saying hello. Goldie says, Eric, I need to be there for someone who's in the hospital alone and scared. I'll go call her. Definitely, Goldie. Be there for your friend. I appreciate you being here for as long as you have. Peyton says, Goldie, take care. Flower says, I instantly thought of a band hammer. I like that. Sometimes only a hammer can do the job. Goldie says, lovely, see Peyton, please pray for Sable. Goldie, I will offer a prayer as well to Sable. It is what it is, says, not even hello. Mocha says, no one gets high fives from me. Hey, Mocha, gotta have a hello for Lewis, though. Especially, he's running 10 miles with his wife this weekend for her last high mileage training run before the race. Maybe, Lewis, maybe you got a high five at the end of your 10 miler. I ran 100 miles and I ran straight up to Mocha and I put my hand up in the air. Nothing. 100 miles. Nothing. Some of that statement is true. Some of that statement isn't true. I'll let you decide. I'll let you guys decide which is which. There you go. Hello, it is what it is. And hello, everyone. Lewis says, yay, I got a hello from Mocha. Odom says he's good, getting better. Good, I'm glad to hear that. You've been in my thoughts, man. I know that's not an easy thing to go through. I can't imagine losing that thing that means, other than your family, that means the most to you. Peyton says it went live last night. I need to edit, though. I'll be on the lookout for it. Mocha says, good luck on the race. Hey, I'm here. I am at the end. I am caught up. They said it couldn't be done. I knew I could do it. It is what it is. Says it's not a race, Mocha. It's Eric's fault that the 10 mile that's coming up. It was just a suggestion. Sometimes you need that last 10 miler in or last big run in just for the sake of your confidence, knowing you got it. And at the same time, you also have to know when to let your training take hold and taper, get some energy, get your legs back. Lewis says, told my wife, Eric said you should. I didn't say should. I said you could do. Didn't have to. So that gives me a little bit of an out. Didn't say it was an absolute. You have to get one more $10. I think it was just a little bit of a suggestion. And she said, fine, and you're doing it with me. I do think it's only fair. Nightwatcher says, everyone please vote. 3 questions, 3 options. Type 1, 2, 3, or 4. Doesn't that make 4 options for your vote? You're annoyed by Eric being behind on chat. You're okay with it. You find it humorous. You don't care. Option 4. So 4 is you don't care. Three. It is what it is, says 3. We get an emoji from our friend Caleboo. Nightwatcher says 3. Sea Paint says she's trying to recover from the bug I had. Yeah, that can take it out of you. Flower says 3 and 4. Nightwatcher says, okay, 3 votes on 3rd and 1 on 4th. We get a 3 from Peyton. Squirrel Sniper says, in an amazingly Squirrel Sniper answer, which I get immense pleasure and immense insight. Always. 4 is the first missing number in the Fibonacci sequence. I'm going to have to look that up. Our friend Mayhem and Miracles is here. I was just talking about Mayhem earlier and the immense help that she has provided, as well as the inspiration. I have our friend Yankee Kyle up and running in his playlist because Mayhem said that he needed watch hours, and then I went to visit and I heard him mention that he was in some real need of watch hours. So he is up and running. And also, I mentioned before, I like having people up and running, not just to help out on the watch hours, but throughout the day, I get to dive in their conversation. I get to learn a little bit about them. It's what it's all about. It's great giving some people watch hours. It's even better to give people watch hours and to get to know them, to find out why are you doing a channel? What are you offering? What kind of content are you putting out? And that's part of being a friend, is you step up and you help, but you also discover what each person offers. So thank you for that, Masha, and for so much. Kathy says, I'm still weak. I'm sorry. It definitely does all of that. It can knock you out for some time. Masha says, hi, everyone. Wasn't around much on YouTube all weekend. Oh, hey, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers here. Masha says, well, I got my membership figured out. A few other things to do. Are you officially monetized now, Masha? Says they don't make it simple. The Fibonacci man sequence is found in the flower of life. and in all nature. It's the connection to the pi and the golden ratio. I'm going to look that up. Masha says they don't make it simple. Squirrel Snipper says sunflower seed patterns, the branches of a tree, the petals of a flower. Awesome. Mayhem says, thank you, you're welcome. And you know what, at the same time, I don't want to, when I'm putting watch hours out there, I don't want to skip over those who have helped me quite a bit. So Masha, even if I don't make a live stream, I always have it up. So I definitely make a priority of paying back the people who have been so helpful. I had mentioned just a few minutes ago, Flower had asked about watch hours. I'm at 2,860. So 140 from the 3 and 1,040 from the 4, with 5 days held back, not yet counted. So getting there. Squirrel Sniper says the curling of the sleeping fern. Man, that was poetic. Curling of a sleeping fern. Could be the title of a poem. Masha said, spent time with my daughter. We planted tomato plants and green peppers. That sounds like a lovely way to spend a Mother's Day. Nightwatcher says, community question, what do you think the qualifications for the position of mod should be? Please tell your answers. Masha says, no, they have to send me a pin. Takes at least 3 weeks. Yeah, I've heard it's a bit of a process. So, I was going to read Flower's statement, but there, every other word I would most certainly mispronounce. Flower says, people you trust. Squirrel Sniper says, pronounced Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Okay. I see it. And I'm going to look that up. That is on my list of things to look up when the live session is over. Mocha says, sorry, I'm in and out here. That's okay. Hopefully your new phone is going to fix that issue. Odom says, good job. Watch hours are hard to come by. Yeah. Definitely hasn't been easy. I'm extremely fortunate by having some really good friends helping me out. Nightwatcher says, my answer is, has to be regular, can't be rude to anyone, has to have a moderate tolerance for messages, be kind, and help people in chat, explain what the channel is about to new people. That's an excellent answer. So you let me know who are it seems like a lot to ask someone to do. So I would feel like I would be, putting people out by asking. I'd like people coming here and be able to kick back and enjoy, be part of the conversation, or just listen. Mayhem says, 10 watching, smash the like. Thank you. Thank you for that. And yes, my friends, please hit the like button. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting Mayhem and Miracles. Odom says, I run my members' playlist once a month. That's awesome. So how do you get members? I'm not sure what that entails. Nightwatcher says, well, I just base all that stuff on myself. Hey, I'd be honored if you would like to be the managing mod. Seems like a big thing. And, again, I don't want to interfere with you having fun. If you're not having fun, if we're not talking about worthy things, and sometimes we get to hit on some really important subjects. Sometimes we just kick back and we have fun, but sometimes that conversation flows in a way that something really special happens. Our friend Dottie is here. Hi all. Dottie, how are you? We get some greetings. I hope everyone is friends with Dottie. Dottie says, may I share a link to my son's video? He is only just starting YouTube. Definitely. You definitely can. Mayhem says, I didn't know. Also, I didn't know that you're not supposed to ask folks to watch your ads. Oops. Man, the rules are so arbitrary, it seems. They want you to watch. YouTube wants you to watch the ads. That's why they put them out there. Otherwise, there'd be no ads. So weird. Don't understand it. Mayhem says he put fees on. There you go. He put fees. Can choose. There's or make your own. I made my own. Huh. Mayhem says. Odom says you have to be monetized and people join your membership. And in Canada, Masha says Canada starts at $2.99. I didn't want that. Interesting. So I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I got to make sure that I get those 1,400 hours in. Man, there was a time I wasn't even thinking I'd make it to 3, and I'm knocking on the door. Nightwatch says, I'm not wanting to be manager mod. Just my answer out there. All right, someone will step up. Dottie says, thanks, Eric. He likes up Snowdon Mountain. He hikes up Snowdon Mountain here in Wales with his work colleagues and wives. That's awesome. Man, I definitely want to see as much as Wales as possible. Our friend Hybrid Jim mentioned Snowdon Mountain once to me. A couple times, I believe. Let's see. I'm going to bring that link up. And not only that, it is Kyle Jackson. I just subscribed. So guys, go check out Goldie's, or I'm sorry, Dottie's son. You get to see some wonderful scenery in Wales, a place that has always, always fascinated me. Flower has some numbers. I don't know what those numbers are. Thanks for sharing that, Dottie. Masha says in the original role, you got to fill out, go here, go there, frustrating. Yeah, I bet. Masha says, I'll watch some more of your content. I appreciate that. Dottie says, I haven't been on here much lately. I've been busy with the van. It's an important cause. That's your thing. A lot of passion there. Masha says, I don't really want to give anyone control of my channel unless you know them well. I first started giving out some wrenches, suggestion by Stoner Bob on one of his lives where he talked about giving wrenches because it helps people connect. But I definitely see that point. Have a great day, Yogi. Thank you, Masha. I appreciate you coming by and all of your help. Dottie says, I'll be putting up a video of latest work to the van in the next 20 minutes. Awesome. I look forward to checking out. Hey, speaking of checking things out as well, let's see. Make sure you go as well to our friend. Sorry, guys. Our friend Nightwatcher, his community page. As he has a new drawing up. Got to support the artist. And this is Mickey Mouse on steroids. This is what it would look like if The Rock played Mickey Mouse in a movie. And there's a poll you could take. So definitely go visit. Daddy says, thanks, Eric, so much for that. Much appreciated. Anything I can do to help. Goldie says, hi again, lovely people. Hello, Goldie. Daddy says, I'll be back in 5 minutes all. Flower says, that's how long I held my breath. I think you were breathing out of your nose. Nah, I would never doubt Flower. Now what says I'm back. Had to switch to my laptop. Had a hard time typing on my tablet. Masha says I've run your content now. Thank you for that. Flower says those digits were digits on pi, not all. There's over 6 trillion digits in there. That's a lot of work. You better get started. Goldie says, bye, lovely Masha. Night Watcher says, Flower is an artist also. She is. She's a artist of the highest order. And I'd love to see her posting some stuff. Flower has my full support as an artist and as my friend. Night Watcher has my full support as an artist, as my friend, as do each and every one of you. I mentioned before, I consider all of you guys artists, the way you've decided to live your lives. Flower's going to try to hold her breath again. I do breath holds every day, part of my morning pranayama. It's Kabultai breathing, which means the breath of fire. You do short, rapid breathing sequence, 20 breaths, where you do a sharp intake through the nose, and then you allow the breath to relax through the nose. And you do that 20 times. Just to an even beat, and then you do an easy breath, and then you do a 3-part breath, and then another easy breath, and then you hold it. Starting with 20, and then the next round you do 25, the next you do 30. It's a great way of waking up in the morning. Night Watcher says, don't. So, probably call it an afternoon in about 5 minutes or so. Night Watcher says, technically, you shouldn't call everyone an artist. You should say an artisan. Artists are creative, and artists are creative of their own work. Yeah, I'm going to stick with artist. I am not anyone who has ever felt the need to say technically. Technically, I am not someone who is at all concerned about how things should technically be. That was a big breath. Our friend the Godzilla is here. Godzilla and Goldie had a great conversation a while back on Marvel. As well as Unk. Talking about Marvel, talking about the Godzilla movies. I learned some important stuff. I didn't realize that Godzilla was a commentary, social commentary. Our friend Kay is here. Kay, how are you? Kay says, hey Yogi and everyone in the chat working and listening in. I appreciate that. Erica Point says, another great live. Bye everyone. Bye Eric. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hopping off the tractor and coming over and saying hi. Eric's got a new video out. Definitely check it out, guys. Peyton says, bye to Eric. Milka is on the phone with her mother. Tell your mother I said hi. So definitely go check out Night Watcher's drawing. Very talented as well. Let's see. I'm hoping our friend Holgo has some new stuff out. I'm just checking out. I I haven't seen much of Noble live lately. Peyton says, everyone, one last thing. Please vote. Who do you think deserves moderator? Who isn't a mod? And one, say the name. Two, can't decide. Flower says, I need to practice my breathing more. I'm also a swimmer. And it's harder to hold your breath underwater. So yeah, more breath holds. Yeah, that's an important skill. There's all kinds of videos on it. But definitely be careful. Godzilla wants to know if I have any Godzilla books back there. I don't have any Godzilla books. You got any recommendations? Top one. If I were to read one book on Godzilla, what would the book be? Matt Watcher says he was live today. I'm going to have to be on the lookout for him. Flower says, hi, I don't know. The chat is going to be all blue. And Peyton says Noble was live last night. I'm sorry to have missed him. So when I come back tonight, I'm going to give you guys fair warning. I'm going to talk about dancing. I'm going to talk about lymphatic dancing and somatic dancing. All for our health. Tempted to say for our emotional health, our psychological health, our physical health, but we can't separate them. If you are emotionally suffering, then your physical health is going to suffer. If your physical health is suffering, then emotionally you're going to suffer. There is a way to keep that suffering at bay. Night Watcher says, let's see, Flower says, I got lightheaded last time I did the breath hold. The dots. Definitely stop before you get the dots. Definitely stop before. Always have something in reserve. Also, never practice in water. Night Watcher says, Yogi, I recommend read the 1001 Nights. I'm going to write that down. I think I had a copy when I was a kid. C-Paint says, I guess I missed his live today. I did as well. Night Watcher says, it's an awesome passage of thousands of pre-Islamic stories, which actually prove Islam and fun stories. I will look for it. Odom says, can't make it back at 5 today. Starting back doing my kickoff show today. Oh, awesome. What time's that going to be? I will at least like to have it up and running, and I can check in when I'm able. And I'll definitely look for the replay. The Godzilla says, I got a nice little list here. The Godzilla Secret Wars. We'll look for that. The creator stole the title from Marvel, but yeah. I will look for it. Flower says, when I was younger and while taking baths, I got a bowl of water and dunked my head in it and holding my breath for as long as I can. Definitely need to be careful in water when you do that. Odom says 5 p.m. I'll have you up and running so I can pop in as well. Like I said, I will check out the replay in case I miss anything. I will be there to support you one way or the other, Odom. Night Watcher says it's free on PDFs, and you'll probably get one in the mosque if you live near one. I'm trying to think of the nearest one is not too far. We used to pass it by when Milk and I would go to brunch. 10-minute drive, maybe. Flower says, night, try the breath holds. Be careful, though. She wants to see how many dots you get. Godzilla says, the Godzilla says, I need to go for 1 sec. Not a problem. We're actually going to shut things down in just a minute. Appreciate you guys being here. As I said, we're going to come back, and at least some of the stuff we're going to talk about is the lymphatic dancing, which is getting the lymph fluid flowing through the body, which is great for your health, vital for your health. It's a form of detox that we don't often cover. You can get it through breath work, through yoga, sitting in an infrared sauna. But the best way to do it, dance it out of your system, as well as somatic, which is a way of taking stuck emotional energy, we could even call it spiritual energy, and moving it through the body. It's not a way of changing your mood. It's a way of letting the mood express itself so that it is changed completely on its own. If you try to change your mood when you're depressed, when you are in deep sorrow, when you're suffering grief, you might be able to change your mood, but the grief remains, the sorrow remains, the issue at large remains. What you want to do is allow it to express itself through whatever way it wishes to. So if you find yourself doing this somatic dancing, you can do it with music or not music. It's going to change. You might start off really frantic as that energy catches hold, and then it slows down and you're expressing that sorrow. Amazing way of dealing with the things we hold on to and allowing it to move on through us completely on its own without us manipulating it in any way. That's the difference between sorrow and suffering. When we experience grief, but we refuse to accept it. You know, have you ever asked someone, how long is this going to hurt? We don't know. It hurts as long as it hurts. It hurts as long as it's supposed to. To make it end sooner does a disservice to the grief itself and whatever it is you're grieving over. So when your heart's broken and they say, you know, hey, there's more fish in the ocean, get back on the horse. They offer all these metaphors. Hey, you just need to go out and find someone else. That doesn't fix anything. In fact, it just holds us back. And then we keep repeating those patterns, relationship after relationship after relationship. So we dance it out, or we can draw it out, or we can sculpt it out, or we can garden it out. We can find the means to express that energy. But it needs to be expressed and not manipulated. So we'll talk about that later. That what you says, I'm not sure you find that in the mosque, Yogi, so you can check a local library. I thought I might order it on my Kindle, on my Amazon little reading device. Godzilla says it might be MSNT with force. I don't know. We got a big breath hold here. What happened at the 7? I think he passed out. Hey, breath work is very powerful, but Flower, you need to keep it to a minimum. Don't overdo it. It's better to practice a little bit on a regular basis than a lot all at once. So, guys, and by the way, One of my all-time favorite expressions is "Holy cow." The Godzilla says, "I mean wars." Yep, I thought so. I filled it in. So, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. If you're around, hey, come on back at 5. If you're not around, that's cool too. Definitely appreciate you guys being here now. That's the important thing. What happens later is what happens later. But if you're interested in the lymphatic dance, I have a 100% promise. I will not demonstrate any dancing whatsoever. Well, I can't make a 100% promise. You never know. It's probably not going to happen. But we'll see. Just a night watcher doing burpees in his bedroom says 5 is 3 a.m. for me. Yep, I remember. So, again, I have no expectations. I'd rather you were sleeping, especially as you haven't been feeling well. So, guys, everyone, thank you very much. This was a fun conversation. I enjoyed it, and I made my way all the way to the bottom. So, thanks again, guys. Night Watcher says, I'll stay up today for you. Don't deprive yourself of any sleep. You definitely need to rest. If you haven't been feeling good, you need to rest. Flower. It's a big breath hold, Flower. Night Watcher says, Flower, I dare you to be awake for the next stream. Guys, don't put yourself out. You got to take care of yourself. With that, I'm saying goodbye. Take care, guys.